Hello class 9 students. We have already started this chapter, Great Expectations, and we have seen that the narrator, or the little boy whose name is Pip, he is in a graveyard, and he says that I noticed the place properly, or I observed the place around this graveyard properly on one memorable evening, or raw afternoon towards evening. And in the last video we saw that Pip has already encountered a stranger who is a very fearful man, who is dressed in all grey, soaked in he has a very fearful look in his eyes, and he is all soaked in water, covered in mud. He has a limp. He's in iron chains, and he has worn a rag on his head, which kind of tells us that he's a poor, wretched man. And we have also seen that this man threatened Pip to kill him if Pip tried to escape. And then Pip kind of pleaded that please don't pleaded for his life. And then the man asked that where Pip lived, and when Pip pointed out the place, he kind of understood it. And then all of a sudden, Pip was turned upside down, and he just shook him, shook the little boy, trying to empty out his pockets. And what fell off from his pocket was just a piece of bread. So and this boy, with sudden it was so sudden before he could understand, that he thought that the church steeple was under his feet. And he when he was turned upright, he was placed on a high tombstone, and this person was eating that piece of bread very hungrily. So that was the place where we stopped in the previous video. "You young dog," said the man, licking his lips, "what fat cheeks you have got." I believe they were fat, though I was at that time undersized for my years and not strong. So this person is saying, "Oh, you have such fat cheeks. I would like to, eat them." And Pip was a little surprised because he was undersized. That is, he was not the proper size that he should be of his age. And he thought that he was everybody said that, so he got that impression. And he kind of doubtfully said, "Okay, maybe I've got fat cheeks." "Darn me if I couldn't eat them," said the man with a threatening shake of his head, "and if I hadn't half a mind to do it. So don't you dare me. Don't you dare, don't you dare, deny me anything. Then I would, eat your cheeks." That means, in a word, that don't you dare, disobey me, then I would kill you. I earnestly expressed my hope that he wouldn't, and held tighter to the tombstone on which he had put me, partly to keep myself upon it, and partly to keep myself from crying. So, the little boy got all the more frightened and said that, "No, I will not disobey you anyway." And he had been seated on a tombstone. So tombstone is a kind of round thing, and he held tight to this tombstone. Why? To keep himself upright, that is, to keep himself from falling off. he was doing kind of a balancing act there, trying to balance himself, and also, by holding on to this tombstone firmly, Pip made sure that he didn't began to cry. So those were the two reasons why he held firmly to the tombstone. "Now look here," said the man. "Where is your mother?" "There, sir," said I. He started, made a short run and stopped and looked over his shoulder. So said that, "Where is your mother?" And Pip said, "There." He pointed out at the grave. And the man was very, afraid, and he just, tried to run. And then he looked over his shoulders and tried to see, where the mother was. And Pip tried to point out the fact that my mother is already in the grave. From whom are you running? "There, sir," I timidly explained. That is, timidly means one who is very, fearful in that way. So, as you have studied in your lower classes, that brave opposite is timid. So, one who is not very brave. I timidly explained, "Also Georgiana, that's my mother." So, see, written over there, "Also Georgiana." So, this little Pip understood that his mother's name is also Georgiana, because that is the way it had been written on the tombstone. So he said that, "Also Georgiana, that is my mother lying over there." "Oh," said he, coming back, "and is that your father along with your mother?" "Yes, sir," said I. Him too, late of this parish." "Ha," he muttered, then considering, "Who do you live with? Supposing you're kindly let to live," which I hadn't made up my mind about. So he said that, "Oh, so your mother is dead, and along with that is your father." Okay. So then whom are you living with? If I allow you to live, means he's kind of trying to still frighten Pip with the thought that, "No, I don't have I've not made a decision, and it's not likely that I will allow you to live. But if I allow you to live, whom do you live with?" That is his question. "My sister, Miss Joe Gargry, wife of Joe Gargry, the blacksmith, sir." So he said that, "Yes, I live with my sister, who's wife of Joe Gargry, and Joe Gargry is her husband, who is a blacksmith." "Blacksmith? Eh," said he, and looked down at his leg. Remember, he was wearing iron chains. So as soon as he heard that, the husband of his sister is a blacksmith, he immediately looked down at his leg, and he became interested. After darkly looking at his leg and me several times, he came closer to the tombstone, took me by both arms, tilted me as far as back he could, so that his eyes looked most powerfully down into mine, and mine looked most helplessly up into his. So he said, "Oh, blacksmith? Okay." So he took, Pip was already sitting on the tombstone, so he held firmly, okay, and he went close. So Pip also tilted back, okay, and he tilted and he went closer, so that so his fearful eyes were looking into those helpless eyes of the Pip, and Pip had no other option but to look into his fearful eyes. So we stop here today. We'll do the rest of the chapter in the next class. Thank you.